Welcome, everyone, to the 2025 Informational Candidate Webinar on Early Childhood Education in New Orleans. My name is Dr. Toya Barnes-Teamer, and I'm the Policy Chairperson with the United Way of Southeast Louisiana. On behalf of our team and our partners, welcome to the Candidate Education Webinar. We're grateful to have the future leaders for New Orleans here today. We are deeply grateful to all our partners for their tireless contributions to this collective effort. This webinar, hosted by the New Orleans Campaign for Grade Level Reading and our partners, is a crucial opportunity to deepen our collective understanding of early childhood education and its profound impact on our community. The United Way, our advocacy, is rooted in the belief that every child deserves a strong start. We know that a child's journey from birth to age 8 is the most critical period of brain development. That's why our work focuses on ensuring all families have access to high quality, affordable early childhood education. It's a key part of our mission to eradicate poverty and build a more equitable, prosperous New Orleans for everyone. We're proud to work alongside the New Orleans Campaign for Grade Level Reading, which is dedicated to a singular, powerful goal: ensuring children are reading proficiently by the end of third grade. This is a bellwether for future success in school, career, and life. Today, you'll hear from a range of experts, advocates, educators, and families. Their insights will highlight the successes we've built on and the significant challenges that still lie ahead. As candidates, you have the unique power to influence the future of early childhood education. Your policy decisions and funding priorities will directly impact the lives of our youngest citizens. Which brings me to our final point. We're here to provide you with the information you need, but the real power lies with the people you represent. We encourage you to not only listen and learn today, but to also actively participate in the democratic process yourself and to encourage everyone you know to do the same. Please note that you will be muted until the Q&A section of the agenda. However, feel free to put any questions you may have in the chat, and they will be asked if time permits on your behalf. We look forward to an engaging and informative discussion. Thank you again for your commitment to our city's children.
Good morning. My name is Sonia. Good morning. My name is Sonia Joseph. I'm owner and executive director of Clara's Little Lambs Preschool Academy. I'm also a business coach for by providers for providers. You can go to the next slide. What is early care in education? Advancing quality, high quality care requires well-prepared and adequately compensated teachers. It also means that we have low teacher-child ratios as well as enriching environments. Quality ratios. For kindergarten, that equals 1 teacher to 20 children. For 3-year-olds, that's 1 teacher for every 8 children. And birth to age 2, the child teacher ratio is 1 to 4. Quality wages and professionalism. Right now, teachers are paid a median income of $12 an hour or $23,630 per year. Quality equals retention. So turnover for preschool teachers from 1 year to the next is 1 in 3. And for toddler teachers, turnover from 1 year to the next is 1 in 2. Early childhood education is good for the workplace. $11,540 is the median cost of infant care in New Orleans as of 2023. A family of three earning poverty level wages would spend 43% of its pre-tax income on infant child care alone, just leaving $1,260 of pre-tax earnings each month for necessities like housing, food, and transportation. Income spent on infant care by a family of three living in poverty, if you look at it, the cost of infant care is really almost the majority of their income. Next slide, please.
Thanks, Sonia. My name is Dr. Libby Saunier. I am the CEO of the Louisiana Policy Institute for Children. We are a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization squarely focused on children birth through age 4 in Louisiana. Next slide. And so when we think about what is early childhood education, we also then think about why early childhood education matters. As Dr. Teamer mentioned earlier, we know that the majority of brain development happens in these first early years, and that this really is the time of a child's life's development that is at peak speed. More than 1 million new neurological connections are made every second. And up to 80% of brain development is developed by age 3 and 90% before age 5. So this tells us this is a critical period of time. And we know that a child's environment and experiences during these early years continue to shape a child's brain and set the foundation for the future of success in the workplace and as members of their community. What we also know is it's just like building a foundation of a house. You want to make sure you build it right the first time. And so it becomes increasingly important, if we know that 80 to 90% of brain development happens by age 4, that we set that foundation strong. And so when children really experience high quality early childhood education, we know that they're more likely to graduate from high school. They have a better quality of life. They have more likely to have a full-time job as an adult, and they have lower rates of drug use. Their income is also higher, as well as they have better health outcomes, and they are less likely to enter and participate in the criminal activity. Additionally, the benefits of this investment really do apply as a two-generational approach. We know that families that have access to quality early childhood education have better educational attainment and tend to have better paying jobs, and they're able to really participate in the workforce and have those higher incomes, and that they have more ability to take care of their families. Next slide. And so from in Louisiana, we know that long-term improvements in education, particularly around our LA4 program, which longitudinal research has been done for the Council for a Better Louisiana for this 4-year-old program, is that these long-term educational impacts for Louisiana little ones that just experience 1 year of high quality early education is that they tend to graduate on time. They qualify for TOPS as well as TOPS opportunity. And their academic achievements are better. And so just that 1 year of early childhood education that they do better in algebra, English, geometry, and biology. And for our students with special needs, they have less, they're less likely to end up in special education, which we know is critically important to make sure that we support these young people. Next slide. And so at the end of the day, what we really think about are the number of children that are served versus unserved of having access to quality early childhood education in the state of Louisiana. And what we know is that Louisiana only serves 18% of our in-need children ages birth to 3, leaving more than 1,000 children without access to quality early childhood education. Currently, right now, we have about 3,000 children on the CCAP wait list, which means families can't go to work, participate in the workforce, and it does impact our economy. Next slide. And so again, childcare really is a workforce issue. We know that 2/3 of children in Louisiana under age 5 have all available parents in the workforce, and that 3/4 of working parents reported having to take at least 1 day off from work in a prior 3-month period because of childcare disruption. And in Louisiana, our economy loses $1.3 billion annually because without reliable childcare, parents miss work, they leave or change jobs, they come in late, or they leave early. And these breakdowns cost our state. Next slide. And so the return on investment is great. For every dollar that we spend, we get at least a 13% return on investment. As you can see from this graphic here, which is really from James Heckman, Nobel laureate economist, if really the bang for our buck again is in this prenatal to early childhood period. And so again, if we build that foundation strong on the front end, then the investments are far more impactful at this time period. Next slide. The other piece to understand about early childhood education is really where the money comes from. And you see from this chart that state and federal funding amounts for Louisiana Child Care and our assistance and our pre-K programs, the majority of that funding really does come from the federal government, with investments coming as well from the state of Louisiana. But you can see here is that, again, that federal piece is critically important. And while we've made increased investments in early childhood education as a state, there's still really a funding gap. Next slide. And so that's why us and many partners on this call with you today helped create the Early Childhood Education Fund, which is a fund that offers a dollar-for-dollar match for locals that raise revenue at the local level. And in New Orleans, we have helped pass the millage that raises about $21 million a year for the next 20 years. So that allows New Orleans to tap into this early childhood education fund, which has become critically important. Here's the deal, though, is that as New Orleans and other parishes that you can see in the graphic have really invested in local revenue streams to increase access to quality early childhood education, what we'll see is that the need is going to outpace what is in the current fund. Slide.
All right, so I'll jump in. Thank you so much, Libby. So Agenda for Children is the state's oldest child advocacy organization. And so for 40 years, we have been working to expand early care and education, leading and supporting in policy change and supporting our early care and education educators. And we are also the lead administrator of the Early Care and Education Millage, as well as the Early Care and Education Fund that Libby just mentioned. And so just to give you a little bit of context, we have a longish history here in Orleans Parish related to early care and education. And if I were going to give you one piece of advice, the best thing I would say is we are leading the country in early care and education. There is so many other things that we are so proud of, but early care and education has been a real bright star in our city's history, and particularly since Katrina. So in 2013, the state passed a suite of bills that essentially appointed an organization in every parish that would be their kind of lead agency within a parish. And so Agenda for Children serves in that role. And we are responsible for coordinating all of the programs. And it doesn't matter if they are a childcare center or a charter school that offers a 4-year-old classroom, or a private school that offers a 4-year-old classroom, or a Head Start program. We are kind of the backbone organization for all publicly funded early care and education in Orleans Parish. And that is done through a partnership with New Orleans Public Schools, and we are called the New Orleans Early Education Network, NOEN. NOEN has a full-time kind of steering committee that is comprised of 20 individuals who represent the field and interest. We have public meetings, we make things available so that folks who do want to weigh in on early care and education are able to do so. We are also responsible for doing class observations. So twice a year, every single teacher who is an educator in a publicly funded classroom has to be assessed. As well as families, we coordinate with the enrollment system. So every single parent should have an equal shot at getting into any program of their choice if they are publicly funded. So there is a common application. And we are also pushing and working very, very closely with our colleagues at the Campaign for Grade Level Reading and these individuals on the call to push for a municipal investment. And in 2022, we had a major win, which is, I'm actually going to take a step back. In 2017, we had our city's first investment in early care and education, and that was largely due to the advocates here on this call. It invested essentially $750,000, and it supported 50 childcare slots across the city. In just 4 years, we were able to take that experience, leverage it, and we now have, as folks have shared, $21 million annually, which is eligible for a state one-to-one match. Why that is so critical is that now we lead the nation in one of the only voter-approved municipal investments in early care and education for children under the age of 4. A lot of people talk about universal pre-K and that it's 3 or 4-year-olds, but our program is actually very special because we are supporting infants and toddlers. Next slide, please. So as I said, in 2022 is when that election was passed. Over 60% of the votes were in favor of the measure. And those funds are used in a variety of ways to help build the infrastructure of our early care and education system, as well as provide direct seats and free education to thousands of children in our community. Next slide, please. So of that approximately $21 million, just about $15 million goes directly to seats for families, as well as the wraparound supports. That serves directly 1,000 children. So in just 5 years, we essentially went from 50 kids being served in this program to over 1,000, which is just really remarkable. In addition, in these early years, approximately 30% or around $9 million is used for a variety of ways for us to expand early care and education in Orleans Parish. That includes center expansion, so facility support grants or facility improvement grants, startup grants. It includes family outreach support, including building and now executing that common enrollment system, which is required by the state. It includes professional development and mental health support for our educators. It also includes wage enhancements. And so right now, about $3 million annually is going directly to quarterly bonuses for early care and education teachers, which is a really big deal when individuals are not being paid enough, and it is supporting retention. And then we also have an annual evaluation that is required as part of our cooperative endeavor agreement with the city and is done by an independent national organization. Next slide, please. And so as you can see right here, this is about the last 6-7 years of our enrollment. And you'll see right there, that yellow part is the local municipal investment and the state matching funds. And so we have been able for the last 3 years to secure that one-to-one match, which has doubled our impact. That is, as Libby said, an amazing accomplishment. However, more states are now, more parishes are trying to be a little bit more similar to New Orleans, get those local dollars. And so now the competition for those dollars is a little bit challenging. Next slide, please. So our City Seats program serves over 1,000 students. Those children are located in just about 40 childcare centers. They are purposely located in every single council district. There is a real priority, however, on the West Bank and on the in the New Orleans East, and that is because there are such high number of children who are eligible for the program in those neighborhoods but cannot access it because we do not have enough centers in those spaces right now. And so you'll see when we break down the 1,000 students, a number of them live in the East and on the West Bank. I also spoke about how about 30% of that millage funding goes to wraparound supports. And just last year, I want to give you a little bit of insight what that meant. It meant 1,500 health screenings for 700 of those 1,000 students, including 14 who received referrals for a much higher level of care through a partnership with Manning's Families Children's. We also had to provide nearly 2,000 Lyft rides to ensure that families could get to their seats. So getting a seat is one thing, but ensuring that families have the transportation and the consistency to be able to do that, either through their job, their scheduling, whatever that may be, to be able to attend, because we know that attendance is critical. That also paid for folks to get to their follow-up assessments. So with those health screenings that we mentioned, it wasn't just enough to be able to give the individuals, the results of those screenings, but we wanted folks to be able to get to the screener, to the next step, the referral. We also provided 2,600 hours of coaching to provide quality supports inside classrooms, as well as over 1,000 visits from Tulane's mental health consultants to support the children and the teachers' mental health in those classrooms. Next slide, please. In our evaluation, this is really right hot off the press. We just received a draft of the program for this year. So this isn't public yet, but I'm happy to share that our independent evaluation said that more parents are employed after participating in the City Seats program. They found that the individuals who were seeking employment actually fell from 27% to 16% as part of their enrollment in the program. The second key point is that 91% of families would highly recommend their current childcare center to a friend or a family member. And the third is that 100% of our participating childcare centers reported their experience as positive working in this program. And we pulled one direct quote from a parent as part of that evaluation. And it says, "My child's learning ability has improved so much from her teachers and I coming together to build the best learning plan." Next slide. And so just for some headlines, at least $21 million will be invested in early care and education for 20 years as part of our local investment. With the passing of that millage, there are less than 50 municipalities across the country that have early care and education. Most of them are 4-year-olds. We are very special that we have that infant and toddler care. We were the 11th state to secure that funding. With the matching funds, we have essentially about a $40 million investment every single year in early care and education, as long as those funds are available in the state fund. And when you put that and you compare us to the other municipalities, this is the 14th largest local investment in early care and education, but it actually makes us the 4th largest per capita in the country and the only one focusing on infants and toddlers. So a real congratulations to the folks on the phone and our co-presenters who helped make this happen.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rochelle Wilcox. I am the co-founder of For Providers by Providers and CEO, and the founder and CEO of Wilcox Academy of Early Learning. We have 3 early learning centers in the greater New Orleans area, and For Providers by Providers is a nonprofit that supports type 3 early learning centers across the state of Louisiana. And what we're going to talk about is I'm just going to wrap this up. Now, we're going to tie this together before we go to questions and share a bit about what we need from the next mayor and city council to build on the momentum and address ongoing challenges related to early care and education. Next slide. In New Orleans, even with the millage and state matching funds, most low-income children still cannot access high-quality early childhood education their families can afford. You've heard about the challenges and need for a greater public investment to address them. Only 48% can access publicly funded, leaving around 7,000 children in need, which again, as Jen stated, it's still amazing to have that investment as we are pioneers in that area. So the percentage-wise, about 17% of infants, 31% of 1-year-olds, 45% of 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds is 60%, and the 4-year-olds, as Jen stated, we have more of them in the pre-K program. So it's 84% of those children that are that are being served in the city. Next slide. So this is our ask. We are looking for the next mayor and city council members to commit to the following. Advocate to help ensure that the state of Louisiana continues to match every dollar New Orleans invests in early childhood education through the State Early Childhood Education Fund. Invest additional city funds to expand access to early childhood education and ensure early learning teachers are well compensated and are able to stay in the classroom. There are many centers that want to open up other classrooms but can't because that is an issue with paying them more. We want to continue to invest that. Partner with New Orleans Campaign of Grade Level Reading and its partners to develop a program that provides child care assistance to city employees. Support the city's small support the city's small child care businesses by removing barriers and further streamlining permitting, zoning, and access to low-cost facilities for early learning centers to operate. Protect and grow. The city's current investment in coordinated supports for families and young children for parental and kindergarten I'm sorry. I just got my braces tightened, y'all. It's hard. For prenatal to kindergarten in accordance with the New Orleans Youth Master Plan and through the Mayor's Office of Youth and Families, New Orleans Health Department, and other city agencies. We want to make sure that this is the recipe for success for our prenatal to age 5 in the city of New Orleans. And this is what the ask is for our mayoral candidates as well as our city council. Next slide. So the voter's guide is out. You all should have received it. If you have not already, please make sure you respond to the questions you've received from Marcia Gaspar at For Provides by Providers no later than Wednesday at 5 p.m. Please make sure you have submitted your responses. We want to make sure that your voice is heard. What you want on where you stand on early care and education is on that voter's guide and going out to voters.
Yes, we just want to thank you all for joining us today. You actually asked some great questions. I love the passion in this area, especially from your own personal experiences. And we wish you all luck, but we are very bipartisan, informational only, but we wish you all luck. And if there are any additional questions or concerns that you have once you receive the follow-up email from us, please feel free to reach out. And I want to thank all the panelists for all of the information, and of course, all of our candidates for taking the time out of what I know is a very busy schedule for you all right now to hear us on this issue and to be able to prioritize it as a part of your role in this next administration. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And everybody have a wonderful day.